p.m. alone in my office on Ginger Road, I experienced this transformation. And from that time, my life has never been the same again. But today is not my day. Today is the day for Elisha Mukisa. Elisha,
Yes,
you are most welcome to Transform Lives program.
thank you, sir, for
And
hosting me.
we are very delighted to see you, and I'm sure many people out there in the audience are all eager to listen to you, what happened to you. I invite you to share with us your life story, where you come from, where you went to school, about your family, and later on, you'll be able to share with us what happened to you that moment, that week, maybe that year, when you started believing that your life has been differently touched. Now, look into the camera and share with the viewers.
Oh, our dear viewers, my name is Mukisa Elisha. First of all, I want to thank God that I am now born again. Just to take you back, to give you a brief background of who I am and a small history of myself.
Yes.
I am apparently 26 years old. I grew up in a Catholic-based family with a single mother and 4 girls, 1 boy.
Where do you hail from? Which part of Uganda?
I grew up in Entebbe, Abaita Ababiri, where my family is. And yeah, I started my journey in school like any other child. I went to my primary. I was at SOS primary schools. Then I finished my primary. I joined O level at Mengo Senior Secondary School. Yes. So along my journey in Mengo SS, that was my Form 1. I happened to meet a student who had been there.
Yes.
I think in his either Form 2 or Form 3, I'm not so certain. And we became friends. Why? Because he had a lot of influence in school. He used to live a luxury life, and along the way, this friend invites me to attend uh, a certain activity of an NGO. Little did it come to my attention or to my knowledge that there was something fishy about the invitation that was being offered to me.
Was it in the school, inside the school, or outside the school?
No, the invitation was outside the school. But then the person that was inviting me was within the school. Like I said, it was one of the students that I had gotten in the school already. So I honored the invitation because the card or the coupon that was being offered to me had clearly indicated that there was a transport refund of 500,000, and then the coupon indicated
500,000
as
shilling?
a transport, Ugandan shillings as a transport refund.
Yes.
And then there was an indication that there was accommodation of both breakfast and lunch. And basically the thing was they were trying to do activities of human rights. So I was eager to know what was this organization that was doing activities of sensitizing people on human rights, children on human rights.
Yes.
But then they were offering an amount of 500,000. That really triggered me. But then my best interest was in the 500,000 because at my age, back then.
How old were you?
By then I was 16.
16, and you were in which form?
I was in my Form 1.
And your host, the one who was inviting you,
I
was
am
in
not
which class?
certain of how old he was, but then he was in Form 2, if I am not mistaken.
Form
because
2.
he had been in the school before.
Okay.
So me, I had just joined, and then he was already in the
He had already left
school.
the school.
No, he was already in the school.
Yeah.
Like he was a class far from me.
you.
So he was already in the school, so he knew the system of the school well. So I honored the invitation of this fellow student
Yes.
to attend the activity of that NGO, that organization that was doing uh, activities of sensitizing children on human
Human
rights.
rights. Actually,
Because
did he tell you some examples of human rights
no, he
specifically?
didn't tell me, and even the coupon only had something to do with SMAG. So I asked him what was this.
SMAG. How can
Yeah,
you?
the SMAG thing he didn't
What
explain.
does SMAG
So
stand for?
SMAG stands for Sexual Minority Uganda.
Sexual Minority Uganda.
Yes, Sexual Minority Uganda. Only that they try to abbreviate it with SMAG to create confusion.
Yes, yes.
So my main interest was in the money that was being portrayed on the coupon as a transport refund. So that triggered me to actually go and attend and probably come out with that money. So I honored the invitation.
So the money was attractive, 500,000.
Yeah, of course, this is very evident that so many students, so many youth out there would probably be lowered.
Had you ever earned such kind of money?
No, I'd never.
Yeah. How did
Yes.
you feel when you had the sum of 500,000?
Like it was so exciting. Like why would somebody give out all this money
Yes.
just at the expense of attending just the activity?
So
So
you went?
I honored the invitation. I went with the friend.
The same friend?
Yes, with the same friend because he had invited me, and of course he had invited
Yeah.
other students within the school, and little did I know. Let me give you a small background of this. Yeah, this young gentleman or the student.
Please
That
go ahead.
little did I know that the person that was inviting me, the student that was inviting me, was actually an agent
Yes.
of this NGO, and he had been tasked that whoever he would recruit, he
Yeah.
would get a commission. So you can imagine how how it would be so tiresome for
Yeah.
him to ensure that he probably collects very many and brings them. So
Yes.
I honored the invitation.
Tiresome or attractive?
No, like it would give him efforts
Yes.
to look for as
It will
many.
motivate him to
Yeah,
work harder.
yeah, to bring so many and
to
probably
earn the commission.
Yeah.
Did you know what percentage?
Yeah, later as I got enrolled within the program and the setting of the NGO, I later realized how much an agent would earn.
What percentage?
It was 500 still. So in case a day he would bring 5 people,
Yes.
you could imagine how much money that was for
Wow,
him. So he would make lots
Good
of
money.
good money.
Yes.
Yes, so I honored the invitation. I went, I attended at one of their shelters, very well facilitated and protected shelters. Uh, Inside well-built auditorium rooms, well
Yes.
facilitated with projectors and then chairs and a lot of things. So I arrived at the venue, which was in Ntinda, somewhere Ntinda Chigowa,
Yes.
where the shelters of this NGO are. On my arrival, I noticed that there were children there of the same age that I shared.
What age?
16, 14, 15, and 17 around
So
there.
14 to 17.
Yes. So, like, I noticed a few of these children that I knew from my school. And then, of course, others that I didn't know, because I think the place collected children from all walks of life, from
Yes.
different schools, those already in schools and those not in schools. So I gave it a try, and I wanted to find out what was the activity all about. And the facilitators that were working for that NGO took us through things to do with human rights, and I realized, according to the theory and according to what they were teaching,
Yeah.
they were actually trying to indoctrinate their theology, and then of course their lies that being gay is a human right, and then they were saying somebody's born gay, This is not something being indoctrinated in them. It's them.
At that time, Elisha, did you know what gay means?
And no, like I didn't know, so I was so surprised. I'm like, what's gay? And okay, like I'd grown up, but I'd heard of being gay,
Yes.
something to do with homosexuality, but then I'd never delved much into
Yes,
that topic.
homosexuality
So,
is even more difficult than gay.
yeah, so I was like,
So break it down. What from the teaching, what was it about?
the teaching was actually to make the children confident
Confident?
that being gay was okay. But then they forgot that amongst the children, there were those that had first heard that it was their first time hearing
Yes, like
homosexuality or being gay. So
yeah. For you, did you have an idea?
I knew about homosexuality because as we were growing up, the church would say something about it, that having sexual relationship with a fellow man is. But then at that time, given my mindset, I didn't give it a lot of attention because it really didn't matter in my life then.
Yeah.
But then here I come, and then the facilitators are telling us it is okay to be gay. We are born gay.
Yes.
Being gay is a human right. So I'm like,
oh, it's a human right.
Yeah,
Being
like
gay is a human right.
Yeah, that it's a human right.
So that was your first human right to hear
about gay and how it was human right to be gay. So
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
It was kind of confusing, but then I didn't give it much attention. But then as we were flowing within the teachings and then the activity, they started projecting gay porn videos.
Gay porn. What's
gay porn? These are videos where where children sleep with fellow children.
Yes, of the same sex.
Yeah, of the same sex. A male
so
child.
Porn stands for, it's a short for pornography, right?
Yeah, pornography.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and they were showing us, like I said, they have built auditorium rooms with projectors. Now these projectors help to project the porn and the pictures and everything.
So they would sit you in a classroom, sort of, in a room?
Yes, like it's an auditorium
About
room.
how many?
We were over 50.
50?
Like over 50, and I knew over like 6 of them from my school, and then the rest I didn't know them. So they were showing us gay porn videos. And then I'm like, it was my first time. Okay, I'd never watched porn before.
Yeah.
So it was so interesting, like, weren't the boys feeling pain? A lot of questions would come into my mind. Weren't the boys feeling pain, the ones they were showing us?
That's a boy to boy?
Yeah, a boy to boy.
Boys to boys?
Boys to boys.
In the beds?
On beds with mattresses, and then you would see lights.
Yeah.
And then I think people who are recording these videos of the boys.
Yeah, what would they be doing?
They would be having sex, definitely.
Sex?
Yes.
But they are both boys?
Yes, they're both boys.
What kind of sex? Did you have any idea about?
Anal sex. It was anal sex.
Anal sex.
Yes. It was evident that it was anal sex. Even a child would tell that.
Yeah. Kissing each other? What do you mean?
They were kissing, and then they were, of course, having sex.
But
it
oral
was
sex.
Anal sex. Oh no, anal, not oral.
Oh, anal.
It was anal sex.
Yeah. All these were showing in
the auditorium rooms and
very clear.
Yes. And
how did you feel?
Like I was so surprised and shocked because it was the first time I was watching a gay porn.
Yeah. And
this specifically to do with children of the same age bracket back then.
Yes.
So I'm like, weren't they feeling pain? Like, I thought that place is painful to be penetrated through. Then, of course, along the study, there were so many questions.
Yes.
Whose answers I didn't have at that time. So,
how about take us through the experience you had with your fellow, the 50, you are 50? You are all seated in the class.
There are those that were there for some time, so I think they had gotten used.
Yes.
And then there were those whose experience was first time experience. Yeah. So